Boom, 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 ba-dum, boom, boom, ba-dum, boom, boom, ba-dum, boom, boom, ba-dum, boom, 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 ba-dum, boom, boom, ba-dum, boom, boom. We gotta set the ambiance. Now I'm ready. Here we go. I'm not doing any more of these shows without lighting my Queen Meats candle. Nothing gets me in the right tone and the right feeling to get this popping like when I have my Queen Meats candle going. This is the aroma of. This is the Cess candle. This is original. This is one of her newer ones that came out. I'll put the link down below. Definitely check her out. Fantastic. Let me put that right over here. Hello and welcome everybody to the newest episode. This is episode 3, season 2 of the Hope for Romantic M.A.N. podcast. I'm excited here to be here today. Got a couple of really cool things to talk about. Uh, you know, especially with the way the content is distributed now on the internet, I found it important to just take a step back and let you guys know what's out there and how to digest it. You know, a lot of times we're digesting things and not really understanding how it hurts us or how it affects us. So here we go. First things first, I want to talk about, well, let me introduce you. This is the Hope for Romantic M.A.N. podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Dropping Dimes, a.k.a. the Hope for Romantic, a.k.a. the Feminist with Chauvinist tendencies. And we're here, man. I'm super excited to have you with me, especially because of this topic, man. This topic is so important. We're going to talk about all these different conversations that people have about relationships on the internet. What I found recently is that people will listen to folks talking about love, relationships, breakups, and all kinds of stuff. But I don't think they really understand the context or the audience in which these people are talking to. What do I mean by that? I mean, we got to be careful, man. A lot of times you're sucking up information that doesn't apply to you. And what you're doing is you're putting yourself in these moods or addressing your partner based on things that you've heard. And the truth is, oh, no, sweetheart, that has, or young guy, that has nothing to do with your situation. I find that, I'll give you an example, right? Man, there's the manosphere. Again, I don't want to sound like I hate it. I'm a proponent of the manosphere. Why? Because it's necessary. It's necessary for a small group of men that have had those experiences that need to rise out of that. And it kind of empowers them to be better, to do more. Now, does it take a sexist tone? Yes, it does. And that I don't condone. I don't think you have to have that in order to prove your point, in order to let men know you got to know your worth, you got to know your value, you got to be the best version of you. I don't believe that. Then there's the other part where the guys make their money and all they want to sit there and do is bash men. That guy that you're in love with, if he's not doing this, if he's not doing that, if he's not acting like this, if he's not talking like that, if he's moving like this, and they're destroying men, right? About how men ain't shit and how you need to watch yourself and watch your back because these men, and this is men talking about men. Well, I have a problem with them too. Because again, they're only talking to a very small, a very, 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 very small, a very small portion of men. Those toxic men. Men that are assholes. Men that fuck up good women. Men that put people through shit. Yeah, I get it. That's who you're talking to. Cool. Here's the problem. There's a bunch of people in the middle. I always talk about this, man, and I'm going to address it in terms of women as well. I always talk about how the bell curve works. There's something that I learned when I was, teaching back in the day. You have the group that's going to perform over here. They're the guys that have been hurt. They're the guys that, were simps and women took advantage of, and now they're cold hearted and they've turned cold blooded. Let's go over the curve, back to down to the other side. On the other side of that curve, at the very bottom, are guys that are toxic. Guys that treat women like shit, that treat women like band-aids on emotions and these stitches. There's a bunch of guys that literally will ghost you, treat you like crap. You don't have any value to them, and they treat you as such. Those are the two ends of the spectrum. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you, and I've said this a million times, most men land in the middle. We land right in the middle, where we're not toxic, where we're not simps, we're not, begging for attention from women and we're also not on this side where we're using women left and right. Most of us are just living our daily life, going to work, doing the best we can every day. Here's the problem. The problem is the large audience, and this is numbers driven, this is numbers supported by numbers. The largest audience of both those type of men, right? Those type of shows, the type that are be a man, be tough, be strong, and the other side, which is toxic, and men are this, men are that, men are terrible, is women. They're the majority. So, like, I'll give you an example. When Kevin Samuels was on, his audience was 67% women. They were watching it. Women were watching it. Much more than men. When you talk about the guy that got caught with his dick out, what's his name? Derek something or whatever. That was always in his car talking about men ain't shit and men ain't da. Who was his audience? His audience was somewhere in the range of 80% women. You understand what I'm saying? So who's digesting these two ends? Women. The problem is they're digesting it on this side, on these very niche markets, and they're applying them to the guys in the middle. And that's, number one, it's not fair. Number two, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. So you're listening about this guy who's, he's wealthy and he cheats and he's out there and he's a high value man, so he's allowed to have different women and the way he talks and the way he's allowed to talk to women this way and and that's what they're saying. And then you have your man who's in real estate, right? Makes like 100-something grand, busts his ass for you, for the family. Yo, all he's asking for is a barbecue on the weekend, maybe a poker night. It's just chill. Life is cool. But now you're applying the rules that went with the guys that are being toxic at him. You're using the measuring stick of, he said that guys, high value men make money, and my man is over 6 feet and he makes X amount of dollars. He must be on that bullshit. And you start applying it to him. And it's confirmation bias, because all the stuff that you hear, you may see glimpses of it, glimpses of certain behaviors, but because you've heard it before, now you drag it into the relationship. And you're applying shit that doesn't apply to your man. Same thing with the toxicity and the narcissistic traits. You'll hear all about that all day, every day. You hear people talking crazy about abusive men, narcissistic men, and this kind of man, this kind of man, and that kind of man, and abusive, controlling. And one day, because your man doesn't want to go see your mother, you hit him with you're just trying to separate me, keep me away from my family, applying that bullshit that you learned to this perfectly good guy that is probably thinking, damn, no, it's playoff Sunday, I don't want to go to your mom's. All they want to do is watch Salo Gigante. You understand what I'm saying? So we got to be very careful not to apply the bullshit to these good guys. These are good people. And most guys in the middle are good people. Most of us are good people. You know what I'm saying? We don't come loaded with that baggage. We don't come with that nonsense. All we're asking for is respect. All we're asking for is consistency, love, attention when we need it from you. That's all we're asking for. There's no need to be, and that's the reason why I'm saying be careful. Be careful what you ingest. Because I just pointed out two different, very wildly popular sections of the manosphere. So wildly popular guys that essentially were confusing a lot of women, man. They were confusing a lot of women because these women think they're going through shit. You're like, then when you sit down and you compare their issues to what's really toxic or to guys that really don't give a shit, they realize, oh shit, all along, wow, my husband wasn't so bad. See, just like with any self-help book, anything you read or you watch, don't read it as a how-to manual. Read it like a cookbook. But Mike, isn't it the same thing? No. A cookbook gives you the recipe, it gives you the ingredients. Then it leaves it up to you to formulate and put your magic on it and do it. That's how these things work. Whenever you're watching one of these shows, whenever you're listening, whenever you chew the meat, spit out the bones. There's a lot of stuff that doesn't apply to you. There's a lot of stuff that doesn't do any service to you. Learn to leave that there. Don't bring that as well. You know what I mean? Now let's flip it. You have for women. Women also tend to do they tend to do the same thing. There's a lot of shows about women empowerment and women preaching that they don't need men. You don't need this to be happy. You don't need that to be happy. You should be all by yourself happy. Okay. Again, bell curve. There are a group of women who've maybe already experienced the family life, who've already gone through certain things, who've already experienced, that are like, no, I'm better off alone. Cool. That's fine. There's also, on the flip side of that, women that want to talk about bringing out their feminine energy and how with the right man, that energy will come out. But they haven't been able to find the right man, and they blame it on the man that they can't be feminine, that it hasn't been given the space, that they have to be tough and they have to be hard. Once again, there is absolutely a space for that. There's absolutely a reason women should be reading that and understanding that. That is so true. Because it's true. A man should create a space for you. A man should put you in a position where you can, I don't like to use the word submissive. I like to use the word trust. He needs to establish a space where you can trust him. That's all true. But once again, most of us are operating in the middle. Most of us are operating in the middle. What do I mean by that? Most of us are operating in a space where sometimes I'm going to need you to be that masculine and tough. And sometimes I need you to be feminine. It's not a consistent thing where I need you a certain way all the time. I need the full scale of you. I need the best version of you in the moment that we need it. See, I'm not a believer that, oh, I want a woman floating in her divine feminine all the time. Nah, F that. When we got to put our boots on and we got to go to war together, yo, show me your balls. I'll show you mine too. Let's go. That's what I need. And at the flip side of that, when we're in peacetime and we're at home and I am taking care of everything I need to take care of and I'm making you feel safe and secure, show me the soft and pink. Show me that feminine. Remember, I love you and I love every version of you. And I love who you are when times get rough and I need you to stand up and grab your nuts. And I love you when I need you to take a back seat and let me lead. I need you both. I need both. I'm never going to be a guy that's going to be like, oh, I need a woman that's soft and pink. No, I need you to be able to kick my ass when I need to get my ass kicked. I need you when you see me, woe is me, life and woe is me. I need you to be like, all right, Papa, let me kick in your ass and keep it moving. That's enough. I need you to really draw that line and let me know the difference between when I'm acting soft and when I'm being sensitive. Sensitive is acceptable. Soft, nah, never. I need that feminine energy when I want to be vulnerable and I need you and I want to leave that mask at the door and I don't want to go out into the world. I want to be here because I want to share with you what's really stressing me and worrying me. Yes, I need the feminine. Once I've told you and we developed a game plan and we're going outside of these four walls, let's go, baby. Let them hang. Let's go. Let's ball out. Show me that mask. Let's go. See, there's a difference, man. And I think that too many guys think you have to choose. Too many men think you have to choose between a very feminine and a very... No. Let me tell you something, man. I grew up with three sisters, and a mom. And I've witnessed it with my own eyes. And maybe that's why that's the kind of woman that I want. Because I've seen the feminine. I see her to be very gentle, very caring, nurturing, very, the full package, that one that I could see why, the guy, my brother-in-law and everybody falls in love with them. I see that softness. And then I've also seen when we were growing up and, food was scarce and shit got tough. And I saw my sister Ceci say, fuck that, I'm going to let it hang. I'm going to show you what a man is. When the man in my life, my father wasn't around, she stepped up and said, yo, let me show you what this is. And she let him hang. And she was, she brought out that masculine energy. But she did it as part of a survival skill. And you know what's beautiful about that? Years later, now that she's married, and I'm sure her husband can attest to this, as sweet and pink and soft as she could be as a nurturer, as amazing as she could be as a wife, I've seen the eye of the tiger on both of them when it was time to get mission accomplished. When they were going for their first home, I remember the mountain that they had to go overcome. And I remember him looking at her looking at him and saying, like, it's go time. I don't need soft, sensitive Ceci. I don't need sweet, darling, feminine Ceci. I need balls to the wall. Let's go get it, Ceci. And that's who he got. And now they share a beautiful home. Point being, when I look at these bell curves, it insinuates that, let's go back to the middle. I'll go back to the middle. A woman wants a man that's both. He's walking in his purpose. He knows his worth. He has value. He busts his ass. He's the best version of who he can be. She wants that guy. You know what else she wants? The guy who's been through some shit. The guy who's had his ups and downs in life. The guy who's faced the fire and walked through it and made it out of there. That's who she wants. She doesn't want a guy who's never been tested. A woman will not be with a man she cannot respect. If she doesn't respect you, she won't be with you. That's why, like, so my point is this: like, when you're watching these shows, two things come out of it. Number one, make sure that these situations apply to your life. If you're watching a show about toxic men and men that don't, and they whatever, don't apply that to the man next to you that's working 40 plus hours, busting his ass, maybe taking on a second job, there for the kids, there for you, because he doesn't live up to that ideal that they're trying to push. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? That's not fair. That's not right. It does. Certain things don't apply to you. There's nothing wrong with being what you call a regular guy. You know what I mean? And it's I mean regular in terms of, let's say, what the parameters that they're using, which is income, stuff like that. Because the truth is, there is no dollar amount that you could put on what these people bring to the table in the relationship. I always say, man, I had a friend where the wife makes a ton of money. She makes a shitload of money, a lot more than he does. And it's funny how their dynamic works. Because on the outside, people be like, "Oh, she make more money. She don't make da da da." He's like Mr. Mom. She make more money. Da 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 da. But then one day, hold on, people. Let me blow out my candle. Queen Mage. I love this candle. Then one day, they sat and they really calculated the intangibles that he brings to the relationship. And it was crazy because of him, they were able to buy a home that cost X. He grabbed that home that cost X, and he had what you call magic hands. He grabbed that house and he made it a home. Added bedrooms, re-renovated bathrooms, did this, da 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 da. So it'd be easy to look for the inside out and say, the outside in, and say, "Oh, she makes more money." But what he was able to do with his hands and his imagination and his love of his family was invaluable. It's invaluable. There is no calculating that. So you make $1 million. I promise you, the day he made that house a home, it was worth much more than $1 million. Plus the value that increased in the house. So we can't digest what we see and what we hear and then take it and apply it to us. We're literally, there's so many women right now, and I'm talking women because these are the people that actually gave me the idea to write the show, to talk about the show. There's so many women right now that they'll hear a conversation about communication. And the communication is so important, and communication. And then they go to their relationship and they think that the communication means forcing their husband or boyfriend to talk. That's not what communication means. Communication is understanding your man's process. That's communication. Communication is not forcing him to come to you. It's understanding that he has a process, learning what that process is, and watching him go through it, and giving him the respect and the space with the understanding that he's going to come to you because he loves you. He will eventually come to you. Now, I know the anxiety that creates in a lot of people. "Oh, I'm not going to wait. I need to talk now. I've said this before. I'm going to say it again. A lot of us men, we have a process when we go through things. We like to chew the meat, all right, cut the fat. We like to trim the fat on a lot of problems. That way, when we present it to you, anything superficial that we could have handled was already handled. It buys us time. I'm going to give you an example. You're in a loving relationship. Your man goes outside to start the car. When he goes to start the car, nothing happens. And he's like, shit. He comes running inside. Oh my God, babe, we got to buy a new car. That's it. It doesn't work. The car, it went. Oh, it went. I heard it. The engine exploded. That's it. We need a new car. Oh my God, babe. That's $40,000, $30,000 we have to spend. Now you're panicking. Oh my God, we didn't expect this. No, I can't believe this. Oh my. Now you're stressed out. Intimacy's out the window. Sex is out the window. Fuck that. Even a good time for that night is probably out the window. Because now you're stressed out. As a man, I can compartmentalize. I'll put that to the back of my mind. Hey, baby, you want to fool around? But if I ask you, you're going to be like, are you out of your mind? Get away from me. You're crazy. Now imagine, I put you through all that. We're stressed out. Now we're budgeting for another $30,000 to $35,000 car, another maybe $500-$600 car payment. We're stressed out. Only to find out that there's nothing wrong with the car. The car just ran out of gas. Wait a minute. How pissed off would you be at your man? You'd be super freaking annoyed. You would be so mad at him for wasting your damn time. Oh, you're such an idiot. I can't believe this. Oh my God, I'm stressing for no reason. Well, that's what we do with problems. What we do with problems is we go outside, try to turn the car on. The car don't turn on. Check the battery. Check all the oil systems. Everything within our power to check, we check it. And we check the gas. Oh, okay. It needed gas. I never went to you. I went, got the gas, put the gas in the car. No harm, no foul. You never found out what happened. Everything was straight. All right? Now, let's put it to you this way. I go out and I don't handle it. I tell you, oh man, this is messed up. What I try to do is I try to save you stress and drama. Now a lot of people are saying, oh, but you got to give me the benefit of the doubt. No, we're teams. You got to give me the benefit of the doubt. I can handle it. I'm not some hopeless shit. No. That's not. Again, that's not what we're saying, and that's not what this is about. See, what this is about is respect my process. This is the way I have to handle it. I have to go through A, B, C, D, and get rid of everything that I can handle to make sure that I'm not bringing you unnecessary stress. Now, I get it. Some men have to work on when they come to you, because you don't want somebody coming to you too late when you could have saved some money or you could have saved an opportunity for earlier. That you don't want. But rest assured, here's how it goes. Man comes home stressing about something. He's gonna sit, maybe play his game, do whatever, and he's thinking. Right? When he gets here, he's gonna realize, oh shit, I need help. Hey babe, listen, we need to talk. Right? So this is process. He gets here, then he goes to you. Unfortunately, here's what happens. You go watch that show that talks to you about communication and how important communication is, and you need to force communication, without giving you context, without giving you nuance to when and where and how to approach your mate. So now he's in his process, and here you come. Don't talk to me. You don't talk to me. How come you don't talk to me? I need to talk. We need to talk about this. And da-da-da-da-da. Look what you just did. You just reset his process. Now I got to start all over. See, the main issue is what these guys don't tell you when they talk about communication, when they talk about relationships, is a man will come to you on his timeline, not on yours. Unfortunately, that's where the big mistake is. The big mistake is that you assume that you need this to work on your timeline. No. You need it to work. A man needs it to work on his timeline. Because I need to go through my process. I need to go through my trimming of the fat so that I come to you with only the things that I cannot handle. So now as a team, we can work together and get through it. And despite you thinking you should have come to me sooner, no, I couldn't have. Because I had to make sure it was a real problem. I had to make sure that this was serious. I had to make sure that I'm not worrying you unnecessarily. Obviously, there's exceptions to that rule. That's how it goes for the most part. Now for men. Stop watching these shows, right? Or listening to these men that have had issues with toxic women. That have had issues with people that are not whole. Who are men that are not whole themselves. I find that too often a guy will grab this advice on how to treat women and how to like be masculine and how to be tough and apply it to the sweetest, most gentle, nicest woman at home. And you're like, hey, asshole, you're winning. You don't have to apply that stupid advice to this amazing person. This amazing person is feminine, sweet, lighthearted, treats you like gold already. You don't have to go out and fucking, puff your chest to her. And that's the problem. People will listen to this, oh, you got to be a man. You got to do this. You got to do that. And this type of man. This type of man you got to be. And then they go home and they're applying it to the girl that's been with them shooting in the gym. That chick was there with you when you had dirt in your pocket. Why are you using that advice, that manosphere advice, on her? Brother, back off, work in the middle of that bell curve. Work in the middle. That's where you belong. Where you have what these guys are dreaming of. But I'm telling you, you'll watch these shows and digest it, and I've seen it. That's the sad part. I've seen it. I've seen guys, right? The guy, Kevin Samuels or whatever, say, you got to stand up and you got to say this. And you got to talk like this and you got to act like this. And Andrew Tate said, and you got to be this type of guy. They go home and they put on that persona. And where they're supposed to get resistance, the ladies at home like, oh, okay. Sure. Oh, all right, babe. You sure? Okay. And they're the sweetest thing on earth. I'm like, Papa, no. Understand what you're digesting. Understand what you're bringing in. Understand when you're winning. Too many of my friends have wives, girlfriends. Too many people that I know are winning in their relationship. That's why I'm called the hopeful romantic. Too many people around me are winning for me to be all. See, what happens, like I said, you start to believe the internet. Look around. Now, here's the deal. Don't look at your boyfriends that are struggling. Because a lot of times their issues are much bigger. And they're duplicated because it has money, children, and shit. Yeah, I'd be stressed too. Everybody would be stressed. Look to those people that are doing well and how they handle each other. Of course they're going to fight. Of course they're going to bump heads. Of course they're going to have that type of interaction. But they deal with each other within the center of the bell curve, in the middle, where he's not overly masculine. He's just enough to keep her turned on, to keep her happy, and to show her that she's not alone in these tough situations, that he sees what she sees, that he's not just another team member, he's a co-captain, that her safety and security is primary to him. On the flip side of that, most women land in the middle, where they can turn it on and off. Baby, when shit gets tough, I'm gonna turn on that masculine, and me and you are gonna get shit done, and we're gonna work hard, and we're gonna bust our ass, whatever that looks like. But you know what? When I'm on vacation in the Bahamas, and I put on that nightie and that little dress you like, I'm gonna be able to flip that feminine on for you because you deserve it, and you're a good man. We need to stop pigeonholing people. That's why I told you I like to work in the middle. I understand why these different spaces exist. I understand why these characters were created to address those issues. Genius, marketing, smart, love it. Yeah, there's billions of guys that got trapped, their heart trampled. There's billions of guys that were vulnerable with a woman, and she told them to man up, and they had to swallow that for the rest of their life in pain. I understand it. That's why the manosphere exists. That's why there's so many women that have been through so much shit with men, that have been hurt, lied to, cheated on, you name it. That's why that guy, Derek, whatever the hell his name is, existed. Because there was a need for women to let them know, you deserve better. You're amazing. Don't go for that. Guys, do better. There's 100% an audience for that. For the women. Like I said, a real man doesn't need a delicate flower all the time. He doesn't. And most guys, right, they fall for you because of the softness and the beauty and the feminine. But they fall in love with you because of that masculine. I know that's going to be hard to swallow for a lot of people. They're not going to understand what I'm trying to say. I'll give you an example. You're trying to start a business. And you're the artist. I mean, the business vision. But you're not good with paperwork. You're not good at advertising. You're not good at marketing. All you are is the artist behind the idea. When you find yourself with a feminine flower, delicate, she's waiting for you to take the lead. Here's the problem. You don't know how. That's not your area of expertise. You don't know what the hell's going on. So you don't have the ability to lead her. Okay, baby, this is how we need to advertise. This is how we need to do it. You don't have that ability. How nice is it, right? To have that delicate flower say, oh, okay, let me pluck these petals and really and let me take over. Let me show you how this is done. Here, baby, see this marketing, this is how we're gonna do this, this is how we're gonna do that, this is where we're gonna dress you, this is how we're gonna and take over for you. Now again, I'm using masculine and feminine. I don't even know if I'm using that right. Because I don't want to address any type of negativity or weakness towards feminine. I just mean like based on the way a lot of these shows use it. So just bear with me. No, I don't need, listen, man, when we want to buy that house, right? My credit's been shit, yours has been shit for a lot of years, and we're together now. I don't need that delicate flower. I need that machine gun. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Teamwork makes the dream work. When we have a child that's sick, going through it, yeah, I want that nurturer. I want that beautiful mom, that energy. But you know what I want more? I want that balls to the wall, whatever it takes to make this happen for our child. Together, let's go. Let's go. I need that fourth quarter speech. Whether I give it to you or you give it to me. That hardcore, let's go, let's get it together. We could do this. We're in the trenches. I love you, you love me. We got this mentality. So no, I don't care. I don't care when people are talking about, oh, I could be in my feminine and da da. Girl, I don't care about that. That shit don't mean nothing to me, man. No, I want you for you. And if that means a little male energy in you, cool. If that means female energy in you, cool. I want that balance. I want that mix. I want that mixture of both. Because when times get hard, I don't need you in the corner pouting. Just like you don't want me in the corner pouting. I want to puff our chest, beat our drum. Let's go. So I need the mixture. Just like you need me to be sensitive, not soft. You need male energy. You need masculine energy from me. Right? But you also want me to be aware of how my actions and how the things that I do affect the people around me. How my action and inaction affects the people around me. So you want me to be sensitive to your emotions, to your dreams, to your thoughts. You want that. See, what we're talking about men is a stigma around calling that feminine energy. Because automatically you think weak, or in sexual terms. No. Women want you to be sensitive, not soft. So make sure that you're on point and aware of how your actions, how your inactions are affecting the people around you, what their needs are, when you need to step up, when you need to go harder, when you need to take on an extra job. All that is necessary. And on the flip, she needs to know that you're a man, that you are not soft. She needs to know when you're driving along the highway and you get run off the road and the car flips, that no matter what's going on around her, your voice is the voice of reason. And you're the calm in the storm. And you're the one that's going to say, okay, baby, I got this. Okay, this is what we're going to do. This is the plan. There's no turnoff like there's a disaster and the guy goes running around. Oh my God, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Well, the woman has to slap him in the face and calm him down. A woman will not sleep with you, man. She won't be with you. She can't respect you during those difficult times. And remember that shit burns. That shit burns right into her memory. How you acted in that moment of crisis, she cannot erase. So if you went soft in that moment, my man, you will forever be soft. That is not who you are. Now she knows that when this ship is sinking, she's got a captain it. That when shit gets hard, she's the one that's going to have to go out and do these things. So no, not soft. Be sensitive. That's the version of feminine energy you can bring to the table, is being sensitive, never soft. But she needs that masculine in you, that provider, that protector, the one that's going to profess his love to her. She needs that. She needs that guy as well. She needs that guy, and then she needs the guy that's sensitive as well. I know a lot of times it's like, but how could you be both? That's very easily. Very easily. You walk into a room and you canvass the room. You see where the danger is, where the weakness is, who needs help, where the load is too much for your partner. So you walk into a room. You see a drunk guy in the corner. You see dishes in the sink and her in the kitchen busting up, cooking and doing all kinds of stuff. You see garbage and bottles of beer and everything all over the tables. What is your job as the man? Hypermasculine will tell you, you walk in and you dominate that space and you make sure that everybody knows that you're the man in that house and that you run shit. Right? Yeah, okay, I guess. But this is where your opportunity to be sensitive walks in. You walk in, you assess the danger. He's drunk. Let's see what level of drunk he is. What's going on there? That's first. You're a protector first. So you pay attention to that. Okay, that there's no harm there, there's no foul there. Cool. All right, cool. There's a lot of garbage around. She's gonna have to pick this up later, or she's gonna be the one that's stressing about this later. Let me kind of go and just do a couple of things, put a couple of things away, throw out some garbage. Cool. Let me walk into the kitchen. She's overwhelmed. She's the only hostess. She's doing this. She's doing that. All right, cool. This is what I'm gonna do. Let me grab a couple of dishes, organize them, put them in a certain spot. Maybe put them in the dishwasher. Set it up so that later I can come help you. Not right now, but let me just hook it up. I'll come back later to help you. Let her know that you're not in this alone. Let her know I got you. But there's a drunk guy outside that I got to address. Let me make sure I do that first. Sensitive, not soft. A combination of masculine, feminine. See, don't believe the hype. Again, the narrative is that you have to be one or the other, or that you could only be one or the other. And I say no. There's benefits to being both. There's power in being both. It's necessary to be both. And when in the context of a healthy relationship, you're going to swing from masculine to feminine, feminine to masculine. And again, feminine not in a negative, soft, almost that, quote, air quotes, where people want to take it there. No, it's not what I mean. It's not related to sexuality. What I mean is, again, sensitive, not soft, where you're aware of how your actions impact the people around you. It's important to be both. Just like when a woman, it's important to be both. Because during emergencies, during hard times, during tough times, you need to know you're not alone. And you need to know that you're ready to go at a moment's notice. And that's how it goes. Now, I want to go to my inbox. But before I do, I'm going to start for a quick commercial break. I know I already talked about it a little bit, but I can't get enough of these candles. I absolutely love the Queen Meech Cess candle. Nothing sets the ambiance and the mood for a nice relaxing night. I've literally substituted the end of the night. I used to pour myself a little cup of scotch. I know people that they used to pour themselves a glass of wine. And because of Queen Meech, they've moved away from that. And now we all kind of just light a candle. So here we go. In this life, some people are in a rush to reach their destination. Others prefer to enjoy the ride. Some drink to get drunk, and some savor the taste of a fine wine or a good meal. If you're in the latter, sit back and delight in a unique journey with Queen Meech International. Her scents and unique infusion methods are designed to take the proverbial edge out of life. Queen Meech's number one goal is to guide you down a more sophisticated and gentle hemp experience. Perfect for meditation, yoga, or turning down from the stress of daily life. Backed by hours of research, our candles are made from a unique blend of imported oils and a wick that burns slower and cleaner to get the most out of your investment. If you are someone who enjoys the finer things in life, we would love to be your introduction to the high life. You can find her at Queen Meech International on Instagram, at the Queen Meech at Gmail, and queenmeechinternational.com. I'm going to post the links down below in case you want to look in. Right now, the Cess candle is what's really, really jumping off. Talk to her. If you give her my promo code, Droppin Dimes, DROPN DIMES, for additional, I think it's over $100, which goes very fast in this type of shop. And I believe you get something else, shipping or something. But you can go with her and check that out. QueenMeech.com. Okay, so moving on up. I'm going to talk to you about a really cool. Let me see here. I want to make sure I got the right one for you guys. It is a really cool. Yeah. These screenshots. Somebody sent me a really cool letter just asking me for my advice, to the point where I was like, let me only answer this. I'm only going to answer this online. I really want people to. Let me see if I can find it. Sorry, I should have been better prepared on this one. But yeah, I really want people to. Hopefully, I can find it. Hopefully, I can find it. Yeah, man, it's just super cool the way people have gravitated and started to send me lots of letters and just things, trusting me with the answer. See here, okay, here I think here we are. No, that's the one about cutting hair. I read that one last week, guys. Sorry about that. Let me see. Let me see. It's in here somewhere, but I want to make sure that this. It's yeah, like I said, man. I just find it. I love how people are literally just sending me, asking me questions. Okay, I already read that one. See, I got a couple that I've already read on here. Here we go. Okay, dear Dropping Dimes, I have a really jealous boyfriend. At first, I thought it was him showing how much he loves me. Now the act is getting kind of tired. I'm at the point where it's getting embarrassing. How do I explain to this man it's a turnoff? I'll read that again for you. Dear Dropping Dimes, I have a really jealous boyfriend. At first, I thought it was him showing how much he loves me. Now the act is getting tired, kind of tired. I'm at the point where it's getting embarrassing. How do I explain to this man it's a turnoff? Um, you don't. You put yourself first and you walk away. You have a conversation with him. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. You have a conversation with him and you say, hey, look, that is not how you tell me you love me. I don't find anything sexy about it. I don't find anything cute about it. Now, my question to you is, and I don't try to read any more into these letters, because usually women, they don't like something, they don't have any problem letting you know it. Boom, right away. I don't like that. I didn't like the way that was. I don't like the way you were acting, blah, blah, blah. So my question is, where is there a fear of approaching him? You know what I'm saying? What's holding you back from telling them how you feel? Okay, but let me humor you. Let's just say that it's that time. I would be very stern with him and be like, brother, that's not it. You're literally drying my coochie up every time you act like that. And be honest with yourself. Do you not like it? Or was it in the beginning you thought it was hot? Oh, look how jealous he is of me. And now you don't like it. Because you might have conditioned him that it was okay. Either way, you have the right to change your mind. Take a step back, verbalize how you feel, let him know it's not working for you. And if you choose to, give him an opportunity. But I'm not going to lie to you, it sounds like you're already over him. Like the mental checkout is already in process. So I doubt that there's anything you can do to bring you back. In my opinion, it's over. You wouldn't have wrote this letter. This is my deal with the letter. You wouldn't have wrote to me had you already not processed this. See, if a man sent me this letter, I'd be like, oh, he's thinking, he's in the process. When a woman sends me a letter like this, I'm like, she already made up her mind. She's looking for confirmation. And I'm not here to confirm anybody's thoughts, but I will say this. I get it. I get it. And you don't need that type of toxicity in your life. Walk away. Walk away for your sanity. Walk away for your mental health. Walk away because you deserve better. Walk away because that doesn't represent love. And right now he's being jealous of other men or other people. What happens when he turns that jealousy inward? And now all of a sudden you're trapped. You're not allowed to do anything. Either way, it doesn't seem like a healthy situation. And for that alone, I'm going to tell you, walk away. I hope that answered your question. All right. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're coming up in about an hour. And as usual, I want to say thank you so much. Thank you so much for making a lot of my dreams come true. There's so many things that happen behind the scenes that I don't share, that are just beautiful and amazing. That because I've been dedicated to this and been able to, be consistent putting this out, avenues that have opened up to me outside of this platform. And I'm always really excited about that. And I want to say thank you for all the people that contribute, all the people that listen on Spotify, iTunes, iHeart, Amazon, or wherever you get your podcast fix. I want to thank you very much. Tell your friends, let them know that this is the Hope for Romantic M.A.N. podcast. I'm your boy Dropping Dimes, a.k.a. the Hope for Romantic, a.k.a. the Feminist with Chauvinist tendencies. And I want to close you with this like I always do. Mark Twain said, the two most important days of your life are the day you're born and the day you discover why. Once again, this has been the Hope for Romantic M.A.N. podcast. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for walking in my why. Have a good one, ladies and gentlemen. Good night.